Good evening, guys, and thank you so much for coming to the June 6th Board of Ed meeting. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thorough. We're joined by 6 of our trustees tonight. Our superintendent of schools, Dr. Timothy Harney. Our assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, Dr. Theodore Fulton. Our interim assistant superintendent for finance, Mr. Luis Frontero. Our district legal counsel, our district clerk, Ms. Suzanne Benetti, and our student rep, Ms. Emily Denton. Sophia Teresi, sorry. Just a few announcements before we get into this special evening. Just want to say thank you so much for coming out tonight. We truly appreciate it. It is a special night. Not only are we welcoming great staff into the Bayport Blue Point family, we are also having a lot of our staff retire and leave us, and it always is bittersweet. It's great. We wish you the best going forward. We will definitely miss you. Your veteran status has taught our community, has taught our other staff members for so long. We're so thankful for your guidance, and we're so thankful for everything that you've done for the BBP community, and we are going to miss you. So we're so thankful for all that you've done. So we have a special, the principals are here, and Dr. Harney are going to speak tonight. It's always a special night, but it's also a kind of a bittersweet night as well. So there are opportunities for the community to participate during the Board of Ed meeting. The first is just before the board takes up its agenda, and the second follows the disposition of all agenda items. If you're going to speak tonight, we ask that you come to the mic right here. We ask that you be a resident of the community. If not, you must be voted in by a majority vote of the board. For the convenience, as always, in the back, you'll see we live stream all of our meetings, and they're posted to board docs after. And if you'd like to follow the school on Twitter, you can follow us at BBP Schools. And if you'd like to follow Dr. Harney, he's always looking to get his numbers up. You can follow Dr. Harney at BBP Soup. At this time, we'll open it up for any community members for any new or old business. Not hearing any, we'll turn it over to Dr. Harney for a big report tonight. We're going to pass it to Ms. Denton first, then we're going to pass it to Dr. Harney.
Good evening, and thank you again for having me. I can't believe how fast this year has flown. Starting with the high school, the end of the year has arrived, and the last day of class for seniors is Monday, June 12th, and the 13th is the last day of classes for the rest of the building, while the seniors will celebrate Senior Day by returning to their elementary schools. Senior Scholarship Night will take place this Thursday. Congratulations to all of the seniors who are receiving their scholarships. Senior Sunrise is next Tuesday, the 13th at 5 a.m. on the high school football field, and bagels will be served. Last week, English as a New Language students at BBP High School visited the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island to learn about the history of immigration to the United States. I'd like to wish a special congratulations to our girls lacrosse team. They were named the Long Island champions at Adelphi University on Sunday evening, and I'd like to wish them luck at states. And congratulations to our girls softball team. They also won their most recent game and were named Long Island champions. Wishing lots of luck to their team for states. And finally, congratulations to all of our performers in the Spring Pops concert and last week's Night of Jazz. As for the middle school, be sure to get your tickets for Seussical. The annual James Wilson Young musical is hitting the stage this Friday and Saturday. Come out to see the show and support all of the talented performers' hard work. As for Blue Point Elementary, the Blue Point Elementary community came together on Saturday, June 3rd to raise money for 2 important foundations that helped one of Blue Point's first graders during a difficult time. As always, the community came together to support the cause, buying raffle tickets, playing hockey games, and spending the day together. Blue Point Elementary raised over $7,500 to split between the Paige Elizabeth Keeley Foundation and the Ronald McDonald House in Stony Brook. For the first time, the Blue Point 5th graders went to the Bronx Zoo for their field trip, and they had a blast. They were able to get an inside look at the exhibits and had free time to walk around and explore what the zoo has to offer. Blue Point Elementary wants to thank the high school students who spent the day with them on Friday, June 2nd for their annual field day. It was great to have so many students want to lend a hand and give back to their community. As for Sylvan Avenue Elementary, Sylvan Avenue's annual Smile Train event was a huge success. Families and friends raised over $5,200. The Smile Train organization was able to find 3 corporate sponsors to match Sylvan's total. That means Sylvan's total was tripled, making the total funds raised over $15,600. That is enough to pay for 60 surgeries and help children in need. Thank you, Sylvan Avenue friends and family, for your generous contributions and bringing smiles to the faces of 60 children. Following up on Sylvan Avenue's May book drive, students had the opportunity to choose from the donated books, and the remaining 150 were donated to the book fairies in Freeport. Friday, June 9th is UPK Field Day. Monday, 12th is the EOY Kindergarten Celebration. Tuesday, June 13th is UPK graduation, and Wednesday, June 21st, is the 5th grade moving up ceremony. Congratulations to our UPK students and our 5th graders. As for Academy Street Elementary, the students celebrated their field day today with the help of BBP students who danced through the weather delay and held a dance party in the gym. Good luck to all of our students as we approach the end of the year. And congratulations to all of our students who are moving up or graduating.
Thanks, Emily. As always, this is the biggest crowd we're probably going to have before the next meeting, so I just want to say in front of everybody, we are so thankful for everything you've done for us this year. You've been a great addition to the team. Your knowledge has been tremendous as a student advocate, and more importantly, you're a great person, and we're definitely going to miss you here in Bayport Blue Point. And just so you know, if you come to the next board meeting, it is Emily's birthday. I'm sure she would appreciate any gifts. Emily, but I would round of applause because she's amazing. She's paying for college, so she would like monetary gifts. At this time, we'll turn it over to Dr. Horney for our special night.
Thank you for your kind words, by the way. It's been an honor to be in this position this year.
Don't worry, we're not done. You're coming back next meeting, though. We got stuff for you.
I am. Don't worry. Don't worry.
She is leaving.
I'll be here.
It's her birthday, so we're surprised you're coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. And just again, congratulations to both our softball team and our girls lacrosse team. They are going to, as Emily had mentioned, they are going up to the States this weekend. For softball, they're actually here on Long Island, if you're interested, out east at Moriches. And then the girls lacrosse is going up to Cortland. So both of them will be playing on Friday, and I'm sure they'll both be playing on Saturday as well. So we're looking forward to that. So good luck to them as they're going, as they head off. Ms. Denton had given you really all the updates for all the events. There's a lot going on over the next 2 weeks, and we'll continue to get you information as we're going forward, just so you can have them all for your calendars. Tonight is a very special night. We're going to do a couple things. We have a couple of our students here from the high school who are going to kind of share some of their AP capstone projects with us in a little bit. But before that, we are going tonight recognize those staff members of ours that are receiving tenure and those that are going to be leaving us and who are going to be retiring. I'd like to echo Mr. Miller's words and basically say thank you for all that you've done. It's one of those bittersweet evenings, as Mr. Miller had alluded to, is we welcome all those staff members who are receiving tenure. And really my recommendation would be continuously look to reflect on your practices and continue to challenge yourself and grow and, provide what you are already doing, because what you're doing is really making a difference. So continue to do that for our students. And then obviously to those that are retiring, really would like to thank you. Bayport Blue Point is a very, very special place. And probably even in the last couple of days, I've been asked by various people and this is often a comment that people ask is, how would you surmise or what would you say about Bayport Blue Point? And it truly is a community. And I tried to share what the weekend was like. And it started with Friday night game for the girls softball. And Saturday there was a fundraiser over at Blue Point Elementary, which, so you understand, was originally orchestrated by a 4th grader. And then through the help of Mrs. Velasco and Miss Santoro, one of the teachers there, that came to fruition, and they were able to raise $7,500 basically from all the community that came out. And then Sunday was the Johnny Mack Foundation, and then Sunday night was the girls lacrosse game. That really kind of tells you what Bayport Blue Point really is all about. It's about community. And people's involvement. So, and because of that, I really would like to thank all of our people that are retiring, because you are members of that community, and you will always be a member of the community. So I would just like to congratulate you and thank you for all that you have done for our students, our staff, and for our families and community. So if we can just give everyone one round of applause. So tonight we do have something to say about each of our people that are receiving tenure. We'd like to acknowledge them as well as those that are retiring. So tonight, just kind of how we're going to do this, we're going to bring up one of our administrators from each of the buildings, and they'll talk about their tenure personnel, and if they have anyone retiring in the building, they'll do that as well. Then we'll go from building to building as we're doing that, and then I'll also have a few words to say at the end. then I would ask that everyone just stays, because then we're going to do a group. So once your name is called either to receive tenure or acknowledgement of retirement, we just ask that you would sit over here for a little bit. At the end, we're going to do a group picture of yourselves with some of the board members or administrators, and just so we can do a group picture at the end so we can capture this evening. So with that, I'm actually going to start with Academy Street Elementary, and I'd like to invite Mrs. Van forward.
Trying to see if I see where she is. I'm here tonight to recognize one of our teacher assistants, Jessica Jaggiello. There she is. I was looking for you, Jess. Jessica started with us probably one of the most challenging years, 2019, because as we know, that was certainly a year that was interrupted by COVID. Jessica began in our self-contained class working with some of the children who are a little bit more challenging. They have a lot of needs as far as their social, emotional, and academic needs. Ms. Jaggiello was a perfect fit. She was always smiling, always there to support these children and help them have successful days. They loved having her. Even when we were at home, she made an effort to reach out to kids to do what she could to support them. And then, of course, welcoming them back on that unusual year when we still had to come and be somewhat distant, which is very hard to do when you're working with little ones. They don't understand distance. She worked phenomenally with that group of teachers and students, and it's also a challenge sometimes to have so many adults in a room. But Jess, again, really just shone in that classroom. She was able to be truly a team player in the classroom with the children and the other teacher assistants and teachers. And this year, an opportunity presented itself for her to work in a very different capacity. She's now working as an AIS teacher assistant, where she supports children in grades K1 and 2 in their reading, their writing, and math. She pushes into the class and does pullouts, and she has obviously learned tremendously about all the supports that are needed for these kids. Very different from what she had done, but continues to be, as she's doing right now, smiling and warm and welcoming, and always willing to step in more often than not, including today. Hey, Jess, can you step in and cover this class for a little while? Always says yes, and always willing to be such a supportive presence and a positive presence at Academy Street. And in those 3 years, she's not only gotten married, she's also going to be having a baby very soon. So we congratulate her on her tenure and on her upcoming child. So, Jess, congratulations. Yes. Do I have a certificate?
Yeah, and then we're going to do a picture at the end. Yeah. Wherever you want to sit, over there. Okay, next I'd like to invite up Ms. Velasco for Blue Point Elementary. Dad, you can call them down if you want, or whatever you want to do.
All right, I'm going to call down Ellen Blachos. Come on down! Congratulations to Ellen Blachos on her well-deserved tenure. No. As a librarian, she has received tenure in many other areas. She's very hardworking and gets a lot of certifications. Ellen's dedication to her work and unwavering commitment to helping others with their book-related needs is truly admirable. Her patience and understanding make the library a welcoming and comfortable space for everyone. Her invaluable assistance and expertise have undoubtedly enriched the lives of countless individuals who rely on the library's resources. Her promotion to tenure is a testament to her outstanding contributions and the positive impact she has had on the community. Congratulations. Terry Stevens. The word that we've been hearing tonight is bittersweet, and that definitely is tonight in honoring Terry on her retirement. She is truly a remarkable teacher. Throughout her 35 years of dedicated service, she has become an integral part of our school, especially when it comes to her extraordinary talent for working with families. She has a strong commitment to fostering strong connections with students, becoming a go-to person to many, including a student who actually moved to Florida but comes back often and always makes it a priority to visit her, and she sets up events and stuff in the school with all his friends. She has been an inspiration to not only our special education population, but all students in her classrooms, igniting their curiosity and love for learning. From environmental initiatives to global learning opportunities, Ms. Stevens has shown us the importance of connecting with the world around us. As we celebrate her incredible achievements, we also reflect on the countless memories we have shared with her. And many of our teachers will continue her legacy wearing the clothing that she brought in to donate, like literally bags and a clothing rack that are in our faculty room right now, including the many Wear Words Wednesday shirts that she has purchased. Her warm smile, her caring demeanor, and her ability to create a nurturing environment will forever be etched in our hearts. Congratulations, Terry, you will be missed.
Thank you, Ms. Velasco. Now I'd like to invite up Mrs. Dugan for Sylvan Avenue.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I would first like to thank my teachers and Helene, teacher assistant, for all sitting together, so I know exactly where you are. I can find you. I would like to congratulate you all on your retirements, and of course, for you, Emily, on your tenure. So it's an honor to congratulate Mrs. Emily Rossi on her tenure appointment this evening. Mrs. Rossi serves as an ENL teacher at Sylvan Avenue. She was hired by Mrs. Van. Thank you very much, Mrs. Van, who never, ever lets me forget that. And that was back in the fall of the 2018-19 school year, where she taught ENL to Academy Street students. But that didn't last long. She came over to Sylvan the following fall, and we are very grateful that she has found her way to us. Mrs. Rossi is a truly dedicated teacher to her students. She works cooperatively with all of the other teachers in our building on all grade levels to immerse her students in language and to support their growth in all areas. In addition, Mrs. Rossi builds strong positive connections with the families of the students that she serves. She's a terrific resource and always makes herself available to families and to her Sylvan Avenue colleagues. With her second language gift, she's often sought out to help us communicate with Spanish-speaking families, allowing us to welcome all of them into our learning community and setting up these students for success. It is my pleasure to congratulate you, Mrs. Rossi, on your tenure appointment. It is so very well deserved. Okay, it seems like I'm going to be up here for a while. Sorry. Okay. So we do have 4 retirees, one who is not with us today, but Mrs. Helene Geisert is with us. Mrs. Helene Geisert is a teacher assistant at Sylvan Avenue, and she served in that capacity for 20 years. But she started as a one-to-one TA here at the high school and has worked many assignments over her 20-year career, mostly providing direct support to individual or small groups of students in their learning environments. Mrs. Geisert now serves as the building TA at Sylvan, but her impact on the building is much more than cleaning up and replacing student Chromebooks, troubleshooting tech problems for everyone, designing video displays, tweeting out daily announcements, designing and producing concert, moving up and graduation programs, creating the annual 5th grade moving out video, and jumping in when a colleague decides to retire just before the New York State assessments need to be administered. So, Helene, you were amazing. Thank you so much for jumping in without being asked. Yes, we definitely should clap. She does so much more. Mrs. Geisert organizes bus rosters so that we know which students get on the bus and which don't. She willingly trains newly hired teachers and aides and assistants so that they can quickly learn their new roles.
She's even willing to serve as a bus monitor, riding the PM buses around Bayport, Blue Point, and Patchogue. Believe me, this isn't a glorious position, but Mrs. Geiser did it to help the children and to ensure a good ride home for everyone. And that's really the point. Mrs. Geiser is dedicated to Sylvan Avenue children. All of her efforts, whether it's in the classroom working one-to-one, or supervising on the playground, or checking in parents for field day, or taking photos at our events, it's all done for them. Helene has already told me that even though she's retiring, she's ready, willing, and able to work this summer to get all of the tech equipment ready for September. I hope Carolyn's here and she hears that. Suffice it to say, Mrs. Geiser will sorely be missed. She makes a positive impact every single day at Sylvan. I am not sure how she can be replaced. Thank you, Helene, for 20 years of service to the Bayport Blue Point School District. Best wishes to you for great health and happiness as you move on to your next chapter. Okay. Two more teachers who are retiring. It is my pleasure to share some highlights of Mrs. Eileen Culhane's career here at Bayport Blue Point. Way back in 2001-02, Mrs. Culhane served as an aide at the Bayport Blue Point High School, the beginning of her second or new career in education. Mrs. Culhane returned to college to earn her teaching credentials and was appointed a permanent substitute teacher at Sylvan Avenue, with her first long-term leave assignment in a first grade classroom. The following year, she started a probationary position at Sylvan, but her time at Sylvan was short-lived as she was moved on to teach 6th grade at the middle school for several years, earning her tenure in 2008. Mrs. Culhane moved on to Blue Point Elementary to co-teach in 5th grade and then returned to Sylvan in 2011. Since her return home, Mrs. Culhane has taught 4th and 5th grade and AIS as well. Mrs. Culhane nurtures a positive, warm, encouraging, and supportive learning environment in her classroom. Her gentle demeanor and calm approach reassures students and encourages them to take risks to learn new material. She also loves the outdoors and always finds the time on beautiful days to take the classroom outside for some reading or some journal writing or for some extra playground time. Her students love the change in scenery. Mrs. Culhane has served on building and district-wide committees, making significant impact as a co-chair of Sylvan SIT Committee, developing our Avoid the Summer Slide grade-level activity packets, and establishing recognition events for students who participated in reading, writing, and math activities over the summer. Thank you, Eileen, for coming home to Sylvan. It has been a pleasure working with you these past 11 years. Thank you for your kindness and compassion that you have shown to your students, and thank you for teaching them all so well. Congratulations on your retirement. May your new chapter be filled with great health and happiness and amazing times with your beautiful granddaughter. You're welcome. Okay, let's see if I have anything here about Ursula. Here it is. Sorry, Ursula. Okay, certainly not least, but certainly the last one that we have tonight for me. It is my pleasure once again to highlight Mrs. Camazzuli's 30-plus years career here at Bayport Blue Point. Mrs. Camazzuli began her career at BBP in 1989 when she student taught at Academy Street with Mrs. Carol Finta. Immediately following the completion of her student teaching and graduation from college, Mrs. Camazzuli was appointed to a permanent sub-position at Sylvan Avenue and then to a kindergarten assignment the following year. In 1992, Mrs. Camazzuli moved back to Academy Street to serve as a first grade teacher for nearly 2 decades. In 2012, Mrs. Camazzuli made the journey back across town to Sylvan Avenue, and all of us at Sylvan are happy that she did. For the past 11 years, Mrs. Camazzuli has moved between 4th and 5th grade classrooms. She is famous for being a kind and compassionate teacher. She nurtures a learning environment where students feel safe and loved so that they can take on challenges of learning. She has a terrific history of working with students and their families to ensure happy and productive school years. In addition to her wonderful work in the classroom, Mrs. Camanzulli has served on numerous committees. She's been a terrific Sylvan representative on our Elementary Instructional Council and a BBTA building rep. And although I am not sure of this fact, I think she's the longest-serving member on the Project SAVE Committee. Thank you, Mrs. Camanzulli, for your incredible work that you have done here at BBP. I hope you leave knowing that terrific impact that you have had on your students and colleagues. Congratulations on a career well done. May your new chapter be filled with great health and happiness.
Thank you, Mrs. Dugan. At this time, I'd like to invite up Ms. Westerlin, who will be representing the middle school.
Hello, everyone. Tonight, we are proud to honor Mrs. Jackie Buckelman on her soon-to-be retirement from the Bayport Blue Point School District. Mrs. Buckelman began her career here in BBP in 2003. She worked for a short while at Sylvan Avenue Elementary School as well as Bayport Blue Point High School. Then, during the 2004-2005 school year, she joined us at James Wilson Young Middle School, which she has called home ever since. Mrs. Buckelman began at James Wilson Young in the attendance office, but for the better part of the last 2 decades, she's been a mainstay in our middle school guidance office. Hers is the first face that greets our students and staff as they enter the guidance office, and she's always there to lend a helping hand whenever needed. She often goes above and beyond. Most recently, she took part in one of our biggest initiatives when she volunteered to work as a go-to person for our students, ensuring that our students have a trusted adult they can go to when needed. But Mrs. Buckelman has always been a go-to person for our students, and for many adults in the building as well, who seek her advice and guidance. While she manages many tasks, too many to mention tonight, you'd be here all night, she is never too busy to help someone in need. You might say that she's sort of a guidance counselor, social worker, and psychologist all rolled into one, as she has helped so many of our students and staff. Mrs. Buckelman, for those of you who don't know, also has a very quick wit and a phenomenal sense of humor, which has earned her nicknames such as Salty Jackie and Spicy Jackie. But make no mistake, her generosity and big heart are evident in everything she does. The staff, the faculty, and students at James Wilson Young are so proud to honor you on your upcoming retirement. And though I've been telling you just about daily now, Jackie, the middle school will never be the same without you. I'm going to say it one more time. We're going to miss you dearly. Congratulations.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite up Mr. Haas for the high school.
Thank you, Dr. Harney. So I know Ms. Dugan, she was happy that she could see all her teachers sitting right together here. In typical fashion, I can find the high school people because they go to the back of the room. So I have an aide, an assistant, and a teacher that I do want to speak about, that I'm honored to speak about this evening. So the first one, I'd like to call up Miss Eileen McBride, who began her career, come on up. Ms. McBride began her career in the Bayport Blue Point School District in 2003, and over the years has become a mainstay here in the high school. She has taken on, as a teacher aide, she has taken on so many roles here, from a hall monitor to working our testing room, to working with students one-to-one, and she has had a lasting impact on them. And really what stands out to me is the connections that she's made, especially that was recognized last year when one of our graduating seniors, we do a program every year called the Recognition of Excellence, and one of our graduating seniors, Matt Nylon, each senior gets to pick a person from elementary, middle school, and high school that's had a lasting impact on them. And Miss McBride was one of those students. So you could see right there in that evening and listening to him speak about her, the impact that she's had on all our students, and it truly is genuine. And you even see it this year. She's up in the third floor hallway duty, and you could always go up there, and students are seeking her out. And somebody spoke about, Ms. Westland spoke about go-to people, and you could see students that are going to her for advice, they're going to her to talk, they're going to her when they're feeling stressed out. So not only is the entire staff of the high school going to miss you, the students are going to miss you as well, but we wish you well in your retirement. Congratulations. So next person I'd like to call up is Susan Christensen. Ms. Christensen has been a teacher assistant in the Bayport Blue Point School District also since 2003. When you think of a teaching assistant, you think of somebody, you always want to, the tough thing is always trying to find, if they're working with a student one-to-one, two-to-one, it's always trying to find that right match for a student. And Ms. Christensen has always been the right match for students. The thing that I always think about with her, and I was even speaking to the two clerical in my office today, was she is an unbelievable advocate for her students. Whoever she is working with, she goes above and beyond for them, and she is the first person at my office if they need something and she thinks something would work differently for them. She is the first person to bring it forward, whether it's me, whether it's a teacher in the classroom. And that is something that never went unnoticed. And I was fortunate enough when I was able to make the move, when I made the move from the middle school to the high school, and we were just talking about this, Ms. Christensen came with me to the high school. And I said to her, one of the reasons I'm moving on from the high school, she's leaving as well, and I can't stay there without her. But her students have been unbelievably fortunate to have her as part of their educational journey, and I thank her so much for everything and congratulate her and wish her well in her retirement. And finally, I'd like to call up special education teacher, Ms. Jody Slavinsky. So Ms. Slavinsky started her career in the district in 1990. I remember her as when I was a middle school student and she was coaching, I think, the tennis team at the middle school. So I've known her a long time here in the district. And when you hear the words student-centered, she is the first person that comes to mind. She is a teacher who will go above and beyond for her students. She wants to see them succeed at all costs and will do whatever she can to do that. And even just in the past few years, she is somebody, I'll be sitting at my desk after 4 o'clock, the building is emptied out, it's kind of quiet, and I hear that door open to the main office, and I hear her shoes come walking in, and it's, Bobby, do you have a second? And, you know, we see family members and stuff like that. When you ask that, you kind of run the other direction. She's somebody who I would never run from because I knew that when she was coming in to speak to me, she really had something important that she wanted to talk about, a new idea for students, how different ways that she could help them. She is going to be greatly missed in the high school, in the special education department. She has been a leader, a mainstay, has taken on math classes in the high school and has become really one of our go-to teachers. So I'm going to greatly miss her. The staff is going to greatly miss her, and the students, most of all, will greatly miss you. So congratulations and best of luck. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Haas. So I will have the last 3 people that we're going to recognize here tonight. And I'm going to start with Mrs. Ekstrom. Mrs. Ekstrom, come on up here. Do you guys want to say anything about your mom? What do you want to say?
My mom is a kind, loving person who will always take care of us forever. My mama is brave and so much, and she loves me so much.
All right, I'm done. Thank you, guys. So, I couldn't have said it better, so thank you very much. Tim, you don't want to say anything, do you? Just checking. All right, so Mrs. Ekstrom has been with us since 2010, and probably one of the things that stick out the most with her, as you get to know her, she has reinvented herself over and over and over. Interesting is she started out as an English teacher with us, and at that time we were taking a look at a couple of things. She went off and then got her administrative degree, and then she became our English chairperson. And then at one point she was looking at possibly as a librarian. So she was always looking to kind of look to see what is next and what else that she could do for us. But it is important that, you know, in July of 2019, or about 4 years ago, she started in the district office with us as our human resource director. Sorry there. Last year, then, we have promoted to Executive Director of Human Resources and People Personnel Services, where now she's overseeing 2 very important departments for us. And if you know those departments at all, there's a lot that go into both of them in terms of you're thinking about pupil personnel, which is really your special ed and all your support services, and then you're also looking at human resources. So she is someone who is dealing with people, from staff to parents to community members to our students in some form or another on a regular basis. And she is the type of person, and though we kid around a lot with Emily within the district office, she is someone who is truly there for anyone and anybody at any single time. And she gets to see people at all different times. She gets to see people like nights like tonight when people are receiving their tenure, where she was part of the process when they were originally first hired. So that is a very exciting time. She also gets to see people when they're going through their toughest times. And maybe they've got something going on with their family, or they just need some direction, or they need a resource. But regardless of the situation, she is someone who will always make time for them and will always be there for them. She is truly somebody who is on call 24 hours and will take a phone call, will take an email, and even if she doesn't have the answer, she will always get back to them. And that is the type of person that you want in the position that she is in. So I would really just personally like to thank you for all that you do for the district. Congratulations to you on your tenure tonight, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. Congratulations. Miss Angela Dungate, come on down. So Angela is like my older sister. Did you get that? You know what I said there, right?
Yes, I can punch you.
Okay.
I only have 17 more days.
That's exactly right. So Angela has worked in the finance office at Bayport Blue Point for the past almost nearly 20 years. During her time in our district, she's been involved in payroll, accounts payable, and many other roles, and also has been the president of the clerical unit for many, many years. Angela is a force of nature to her own right, but when it comes to fighting for others, you absolutely do not want to get in her way. She is the person who will come into you and speak to you, and if she really truly believes in something, she is truly going to fight for it, and I admire that about you tremendously. She has a tremendous passion and truly cares about the students, staff, and community of Bayport Blue Point as a whole. It's because of Angela that the lights are on and the heat stays on and our vendors are paid on a regular basis. Angela would do anything she can to help out. She's always willing to take on an extra role if it is needed. For example, a couple of years ago, I asked her to take on a responsibility of doing building use. Well, she's still doing it to this day. So I got to thank her for that, because no matter what it is, she will look to see how she can help us out. I cannot thank her enough for that. She is truly that get the job done type of person, and is a true professional. In addition to her job, Angela has volunteered her time on committees throughout her tenure. Her insight combined with her humor, and Angela is a very funny person, has been consistent. I don't know if you guys see that at home, but we see it here. Her insights combined with her humor has been consistent and valued. In public service, 20 years is a typical milestone for retirement. Angela is just shy of those years, but there is no better reason to retire than to spend time with her family. Angela just knows her family here will miss you as well as everybody within the school district. Angela, on behalf of all that you have worked with at Bayport Blue Point, we wish you the best in your retirement and know you will enjoy this time with your husband as well as visiting your son in Chicago. I know that's a rough one right now, and your daughter wherever that takes her. Congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. You are truly going to be missed. I'm going to miss you tremendously. Last but not least, Ms. Carrie Van, come on up. So I did prepare something that I'm going to read, but I wanted to just say a couple words before I do this way. If I don't, I won't stay focused enough, long enough, and Carrie knows that. It's interesting, in the position that I am in, you get the opportunity to visit each and every one of the buildings on a regular basis. And I would say this, is when you go into Academy Street, you get this feeling of joy and happiness. And it's one of those things that is truly because of the building leader within the building. If you were to walk around the building with Carrie, it's amazing to me. One, obviously she knows every student, but besides that, because she's been there for 16 years, she knows the families, she knows what they're going through, she knows if they're having a good day, she knows if they're having a bad day, she knows exactly what to say, she knows what makes them smile, where they might need a little extra help, where they maybe need a Band-Aid, she has lunch with them, whatever it may be, it is something that she looks to do. And those are the intangibles that really you don't teach. It's something that people have, and Ms. Van or Carrie has it. And I cannot thank her enough for that, because the atmosphere and culture that she has created there with the help of her staff is tremendous. And it's something that will live on way beyond the years, and it's something you should be tremendously proud of. Okay? So I will go through this, but I wanted to say that has been with Bayport Blue Point for 16 years. In her time at Academy Street, she's led her building through the good and the bad. During her tenure, Ms. Van has worked through Hurricane Sandy, where we had to close the building for a week, obviously through COVID, and through the most difficult of times when you lose a student or a staff member. And she was somebody who was always there to support her staff. During this time, she's always had the students, staff, and community at the forefront of her thinking. She's always looking for them and their families, looking out for them. For the good, Carrie led the building in many creative and exciting times. Book nights, concerts, balloon parades, circus residency, and the annual Carly Fun Run. The reindeer games, which we're not going to talk about here. We are not going to talk about them here. It is a sight for those of all my people at Academy know exactly what I'm talking about. But again, it adds to the culture of the building, and the students get to see the adults in a very different light, including myself. But it's a lot of fun. She has a true passion for all content, but especially reading and writing. Carrie is also someone who wears her emotions on her sleeves. She would not stop at anything. She would not stop at anything to help the students within her building. So the best people that know her, obviously the people that live day to day with her. So I wanted to share a couple of things that they had to say, okay? So I've been a teacher under Carrie Van for 16 years, and I look back on all those years with the fondest memories. Ms. Van's belief in me as an educator has truly shaped me into the teacher I am today. She gave me the confidence to try new things, the freedom to be creative and support. I needed to stay strong in difficult times. I will miss her kindness, office chocolate dish, which I often visit as well, and the ability to stop into her office when I need a pep talk. I always admired the relationship Carrie had with all the children at Academy. She knew all the children's names, their families, and got to know each child on a personal level. She recognized children for all their unique abilities and individual successes. Whether it was sitting with the Student of the Month winners in a small group to have a bagel breakfast, or announcing students that were caught doing special acts of kindness. She always made the time and effort to make sure each child knew how very special they are. As an educator, she has taught me that school is so much more than a place to teach children academics. Rather, it is a place to show children how special, talented, loved, and important they are in this world. Now that is an amazing legacy to leave behind. Just two others. Ms. Vane has been leading Academy Street with a smile for all of the years that I have been a teacher in her building. She's kind, caring, and compassionate, and truly wants the best for the students and staff in her school. Ms. Vane is dedicated to making Academy Street a happy, safe, and exciting place to learn for the school community. And the last one. And there are many of these to select from. I just wanted to choose a few because I think it is important that you hear this. Carrie works tirelessly to create a learning environment that celebrates children's academic achievements and social growth. At the heart of her decision-making is the children. She makes sure that they thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Their needs are always at the forefront in everything she does. So even when you're having those tough days, I want you to remember the impact that you've had on the staff, the students, and the families within the district, and us as a whole. On behalf of Bayport Blue Point, and from me personally, I wish Carrie all the best in retirement, and please know we are truly going to miss you. We hope you enjoy yourself, your family, whether it's on the boat or whether it's on the slopes, which are two of her pastimes. All the best, Carrie, and thank you for the 16 years of continuous hard work and for all that you have done for the students and school community of Academy Street Elementary. Thank you for everything. Now, that would have been a way to do it. All right, at this time, I'd like to invite the building administrators. We'd like to get everybody together. The board member would like to do a group photo.
I would like you to know that except for about 3 of them, they're all Academy over there too.
All right. How about one more round of applause, a little standing ovation for our retirees and tenure candidates as they leave.
Well, thank you guys so much, and congratulations at this time. If you'd like to go, though, we definitely understand. I'm sure you have a lot of celebrating to do. We do appreciate it. If you want to stay, we do have a big presentation we've been looking forward to. I know we've been waiting for this, so I appreciate you guys giving us time. Thank you guys so much. You? I'll just give it a return.
So at this time, I'm going to invite Mrs. Peterson up with her students, who are going to share some of their AP capstone projects with us.
I go first.
Sit on? It's on. We're good?
Do I have to use the clicker or you do?
I'll pass it along with the microphone. Look, there's hardly anybody left.
It actually makes me feel so much better.
All right, well, thank you for having us. This is our third year of running the AP Research class, and this is our third group of researchers. And I know that we know a bit about AP Research and the capstone program at this point, so I won't refresh all of it, but I do want to say one of my favorite things about the course is that the students get to pursue and explore any topic they're interested in. And so our topics range all over the place, as you're going to see tonight as they share just briefly about the projects that they did this year.
Hi, my name is Vivian Prudenti, and I studied political polarization through social media and its effect on high school students and how they socialize. So, because I'm a teenager myself, I hypothesized that there would be a strong correlation between the increased prevalence of political polarization on social platforms and how teens view certain stereotypes that they see. To test this, I used a mixed method survey and a correlational analysis. I distributed my survey throughout all socialist classes within the high school, and with the data that I received, I plugged my data into a Pearson's correlation coefficient and received an R value of 2.3. What this means, 0.23, sorry. What this means is that there is not a very strong correlation or significant prevalence with political polarization on teenagers and how they socialize.
Hi, my name is Madeline Jensen, and this year I studied the topic of how music with primarily major and minor chords impacts skill-based athletic performance. So as an athlete and musician myself, I wanted to find a way to enhance my athletic performance. So I decided to conduct a quantitative experiment using a skill-based athletic performance method, which I used cornhole. And I drew participants from the Bayport Blueprint High School gym classes, and I had them listen to different songs in a major and minor chord while they were performing cornhole. And then once I collected my data, I analyzed it through an ANOVA statistical analysis, and my results came back inconclusive because the p-value was over 0.5. This is obviously disappointing for me, but it provides more implications because due to my small sample size, it can provide if I have more participants next time, I could provide a bigger scope and possibly enhance athletic performance.
Hello, everyone. My name is Faith DiBiase, and I researched the relationship between Billboard's top 4 music artists, which are Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Morgan Wallen, and Drake. And with this, I wanted to understand the relationship that it had with their most popular songs on Spotify. So I did this through a mixed method study of surveys and interviews, and I talked with a lot of people, and I discovered that there was a strong direct relationship, which when a person had a negative opinion of their song that I played for them, it showed that there was a negative stereotype and a negative opinion about them. This was really important for me because overall, it showed me that social media, which is super prevalent right now in society, is very impactful on the stereotypes of music artists, and it also impacts the opinions of them as people as well as the opinions of their songs.
Hi, my name is Christina Lin, and my research question is how do individuals born between the decades 40 to 2000s perceive nanotechnology and cancer studies differently within a suburban community on Long Island, which is Bayport Bluepoint? And in order to collect data like results, I decided to utilize a survey that is distributed throughout the Bayport Bluepoint community, asking the community on what their outlooks and opinions are about my topic. And as a result, overall, I found 3 main themes after grouping my results into their certain generations. into their generations, and and doing a thematic analysis on both the quantitative and qualitative results, I found that there was no correlation between the perception of nanotechnology in different decades, and so by studying these perceptions, it would provide more new paths towards better prepared, efficient medical accommodations.
Hi, my name is Shannon Krug, and I studied type 1 diabetes misrepresentation in films. In doing so, I used a mixed method of studying both quantitative and qualitative data. I used a content analysis while watching 5 films within my realm, and in doing so, I had transcribed information from these films and separated it into inaccurate and accurate representations of type 1 diabetes. And in doing so, I was able to do a thematic analysis and find 5 major themes of misrepresentation in these films. In doing so, I had found that there was extreme misrepresentation of the disease, and overall there seems to be that people know a background of what the disease is, but may extrapolate upon these ideas. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Eva Morris, and for my research, I wanted to study the female athlete triad and how sleep interacts with the symptoms. So the female athlete triad is a common phenomenon that impacts a widespread proportion of athletes. And to perform my research, I utilized a sample of female high school track and field athletes across Suffolk County, and I performed a correlational analysis using a survey method to determine if there was a correlation. And I found out that there was a moderate negative correlation between symptoms of the triad and hours of sleep, meaning that as athletes received less hours of sleep, the amount of symptoms they had increased.
Hi, my name's Lily Muller, and for my research project this year, I decided to study pandemic puppy benefits, specifically to what extent pandemic puppies were beneficial today, as pandemic puppies are becoming a bigger topic in the news. For my study, I decided to conduct a mixed method survey, which was distributed throughout the high school. I collected both quantitative and qualitative data to perform both a thematic analysis and statistical analysis, and I was able to find that pandemic puppies are able to provide a variety of different benefits today, including emotional and physical benefits, and they are still highly beneficial.
Hi, my name is Julia Krug, and this year I studied teenagers' perceptions of extreme diets the parents follow, or as it's called in social media, granola moms. I decided to study this through sending out a survey through English classes, so it would reach every single student who goes to Bayport Blue Point High School. And from there, it was a mixed method survey. It had quantitative and qualitative responses. And from there, I pulled 3 major themes, which led me to my results, which was that teens view granola moms negatively at Bayport Blue Point.
Good job. You guys can say. Oh, actually, then I'll do a picture. Thank you.
Just want to thank you guys so much for your presentation. There are a few parents here. This would be your time if you want to take a picture. You have any questions for them? Or if you guys want to go up. You guys want to go up? Yeah. All right, moving on to consent agenda. Are there any items the board would like removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda? Not Not hearing any, can I have a motion to approve consent agenda items G, H, I, J, K, and L?
So moved.
Ms. Conley, second by Ms. Pignataro. Just a quick discussion. We do have someone here on the agenda tonight. She is with us. We wanted to say congratulations to Mary Stefani. We are so lucky to have you here in Bayport Blue Point. Looking forward to a great career here. So thank you so much for staying tonight. We do appreciate it. How about a small round of applause? We don't have a lot of people here, but thank you so much. And big night for you. It's being approved. So thank you so much. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you so much for doing this each year. We appreciate it. Every other year, okay. Moving on to the regular agenda. Can I have a motion to gratefully accept the following cash donations? Just need a motion. Ms. Pignataro, second by Mr. Johnson. Just a quick discussion. Want to thank the Sylvan Avenue PTA for donating $6,514 for the arts and education at the elementary school. Want to thank the Academy PTA for the $57.34 donation for the arts and education directly going to the Academy Street, and the Bayport Blue Point Foundation for donating over $1,000 for the BOCES Summer Enrichment Program. We're so thankful and appreciate all donations that go directly to the students. So thank you guys so much. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. I'm just going to read all these. Can I have a motion to approve the first reading of policy 8410, transportation, 0115, student harassment and bullying prevention and intervention, policy 5710, school safety and education climate reporting, policy 8130, school safety plans and teams, and policy 8140, unsafe school transfer choice. Mr. Roan, second. Mrs. Conley, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Can I have a motion to approve the updated meeting dates for the Board of Ed for the 23-24 school year? Mr. Krug, second. This is second by Ms. Pignataro. Just a quick discussion. It was originally scheduled to be a reorg meeting on July 5th. We're going to be moving that to July 6th at 1 p.m. So originally it was July 5th at 7 p.m., moving to July 6th at 1 p.m. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Open it up to the community. I'm not hearing any trustee new business. Ms. Conley?
I had the opportunity to attend Jazz Night. I have the program right here to remind me. It's one of my favorite musical nights of the year, where the middle school jazz band, the high school jazz choir, and the high school jazz band perform. All three of these groups are volunteer extracurricular activity where they spend their time honing their craft, and they just performed 3 phenomenal sets. And it's wonderful to see the dedication from their teachers and from the students themselves, and to watch the growth as we see the really super talented middle schoolers who'll be moving up to the high school just in time for our very talented seniors to graduate. So I love that night. Congratulations to them. And while we're on music, I wanted to congratulate, we had 18 of our students plus the pit orchestra get nominated for the Town of Islip Arts Council Teenie Awards, including Miss Emily Denton, student director down there. So I wanted to offer congratulations to them. And also, the New York State Public High School Athletics Association announced its spring scholar athletes. Bayport Blue Point had 129 scholar athletes, which means on top of their grueling sports activities, they managed to maintain a 90 average for the spring. And as one of our AP capstone students, Madeline, sat up here, and she's one of them. She's not only an AP student, but she's also an athlete and a musician. We just have a community that's filled with all of these kids who do everything and have all these opportunities, and it makes it just such a wonderful community to live in. So keep doing everything that you're doing, and happy Pride.
Thank you so much. Any trustee new business? Just want to say this is the first time we've had a board meeting since the election, so we're so thankful to the community for passing the budget, and we want to congratulate Ms. Pignataro. So thank you again so much for the budget passing. We truly appreciate it. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Krug, always. Mr. Johnson, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you guys so much. We have one more meeting. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.